welcome back to another video. Today should be, oh, not today, I say today, but this video should be digging peanuts. We wanted to start. It's getting about that time. Quite a few fields are very close, or they are ready. Virginia, as we like to dig them when they're about 75% ready. There's a method that we use to test. If a peanut is completely ready, you scratch the outside of the shell and that peanut will reveal some black layering underneath. So if they're scratching black, that means they're ready. They need to be pulled out of the ground, and they'll get lighter the less ripe they are. So you get browns and you get whites, and when a certain amount of them are browns and blacks, the darker they are, 75% of them are pretty dark. That's when we like to pull them out. If we wait too long, they get overripe and the peanuts will fall off the plant during digging. So Virginias, they are quite fragile. That's why we put calcium down on the fields to hopefully help with that. So 75% ready is when we like to dig them. This first field right here that I'm headed to, that one is already ready to go. We were gonna start digging today. Today is Monday. It is the 23rd. And then we got some rain on Saturday. Now we're gonna have to wait. Now we're gonna have to wait till it dries up a little bit. But the second it dries up, we have to start digging. It's go time. The fields are screaming and they're ready to go. Walking here to the end rows. Yeah, you can already tell it's wet. Yeah, if we would start digging now, we would probably leave a lot of dirt on the peanuts, and we definitely do not want to do that. But knowing us, knowing how we can't contain ourselves, almost guaranteed we're gonna try a little bit today just to see what it looks like. And then we're probably gonna end up trying a little bit tomorrow, and then maybe Wednesday we'll start going. We'll see. But before all of this, or we start digging, I want to go see what damage that storm did. There by the main barn that I always work at, I have a couple of acres of land that I'm kind of trying to keep in charge of, I guess, in a way. And the big storm went right over there. Lots of pivots fell over, so I hear from other farmers in the area, and lots of hail. And I think my cousin had actually went over there and looked at some of the acres there, and apparently lots of peanuts got hailed on very bad. So we'll see. I mean, we wanted to dig them out anyway. After this field, the plan was to get those 3 fields next, and if they got hailed on, well, perfect timing, I guess. But he did also say it rained 4.5 inches there, so we'll see if that's true or not. So I'm gonna head out there and see what those fields look like, see how many of our pivots got flipped over, see what kind of damage I can find. Yeah, I don't think that that power line is supposed to be that close to the ground. Yikes. It definitely was stormy out in this area. Better be careful of that low electrical line right there. Yeah, about a mile away from our barn. Yeah, those tires are not supposed to be in the air. This one is not our pivot. This one is the neighbor's pivot. Yeah, this one's flipped over. Yikes. That must have been for sure a tornado or something that came through here. And I see another pivot off in the distance, another pivot that's flipped over right over there. And looks like the next one over. So there's 1.5 miles, three fields back to back. Looks like they're all flipped over. Yikes. I'm pulling up to our field right now. This one's ours. And we got a rain gauge a little ways up ahead, so I'm gonna check that first. But looks like this pivot's good, and looks like the next, I can see the next pivot too. The next pivot is also good. So I believe, yeah, I see tires up in the air way over there, mile further that way. One of our pivots, it's flipped over. Looks like 4 towers worth. Whoa, it's all sorts of twisted. Yikes, that's crazy. Let's check this rain gauge real quick. See how much it rained. Unless if someone already poured it out. Oh, looks like somebody did. It's empty. Man, come on. Got another rain gauge at the barn. I'll go check that one. On the south end of this field, cotton looks fine. On this end of the field, there's nothing but twigs. There's literally no cotton left on these plants. There's nothing. I've granted this cotton was a bit smaller, but we're not even gonna be able to harvest. This looks like we stripped it. There's nothing. That's all gone. This is ridiculous. Everything is gone. These are our cotton plants. They're gone. Nothing's left. I mean, here's half a bowl of cotton. There's nothing. Everything is gone. This is insane. There's gonna be, it's safe to say there's not gonna be much of a cotton harvest in this area this year. Ooh, I do not like that. I'm worried what the peanuts might look like. We are definitely gonna have to dig this field out as soon as possible. Look at all those peanut leaves. It's insane. These rows right here, they were lapping. They were completely touching each other. Now you can see in between the rows. Yeah, this is not good. This is crazy. You can clearly tell came down from this side right here. This side is damaged bad. This side still okay. But because of all this hail on the peanuts themselves, it's nice that the peanut is underneath the ground, so it still saves our crop somewhat, but we're now on a time limit. Because it got hurt so bad, now the plant is going to be stressing like crazy, and it's going to want to start crashing. It's going to want to start shutting down. The plant is going to want to start finishing off. It thinks, all right, I'm done now. I'm not going to grow anymore. So we have very limited amount of days before it'll look very bad, and digging them is going to be terrible. They're not going to want to flip over as nicely, and we're going to have lots of issues with digging. So we got to get in here as soon as possible, as soon as the moisture is right. As soon as this moisture is right, then we gotta get in the field. This right here, you know, this is still soaking wet. I mean, luckily we have a lot sandier soil, so you can tell it still breaks apart, but it's still wet. It's still very wet. But all the peanut leaves, that is ridiculous. That's insane. Even got oh, you can even see it on camera. Nice lake right there now. Maybe there's fish in there, we can go fishing. Yikes. And if my cousin, if it's right what he said, we got 4.5 inches over here. That's a lot of rain. A lot of rain to come down at once, because I think the storm only lasted like 15-20 minutes. That's crazy. And look at the degrees. We're sitting at 63 degrees. It's almost a bit chilly, almost time to put on like a jacket or something. Hasn't been this cold in a long time. A couple of days ago we were still sitting at like 98, almost 100 degrees. Here's our lake. That's cool. This cotton field is actually, it's completely gone. I'm actually just driving at the edge of the field right now, and I guess it washed off of the field enough where now we got nice washouts everywhere. That's fun. I'm looking across the field and there's literally nothing. This field was already almost ready to harvest. It had quite a few open bowls already, and just looking at it now, there's nothing. It's all gone. That is, I feel sorry for all the people that have flipped over pivots. I know our neighbor here, he has 4 of them, I think. that got flipped over. And we got one of them. It looks, I think everyone from our barn here to the east of us, I think they got a lot more pivots that flipped over. There must have been a tornado or something that came through, or just some extreme winds. But it's been a while since we had such a crazy storm where it did this much damage, because a lot of farmers got hurt with it. And one farmer told me, yeah, I don't know if I already mentioned it, but 40 pivots in total, I think is what they said, somewhere close to that number. That's how many pivots flipped over. So the pivot companies in town, people that sell irrigation and stuff, they're gonna be busy this week, either selling pivots or flipping over. Some of them, well, a lot of them are gonna be damaged enough to where flipping them over is not gonna be worth it. You have to drag them all off the field, and a lot of people are gonna be getting new pivots. I'm fairly certain of that, which luckily, I don't know if everyone does, but you can have insurance on a pivot just like a vehicle. So if something happens to it, you just pay a deductible, and then they will either fix the damages. I guess they have adjusters that'll come out and take a look at your pivots too. But I do believe the majority of farmers are going to either be getting new pivots, or they're going to be repairing their old ones as good as what they can. I see another pivot way off in the distance over there that got flipped over. Wow, literally from our barn here. Oh, actually, let's stop by here real quick. Our little storage unit here that we had, not storage, but where we had we have our well here with a pressure tank and everything. That flipped over. This is where we kept everything for our house that we have here on the farm. Pressure tank is in there, all the pipes are in there. That fell over. That's fine. We're gonna have to build a new one there. Yikes. That's okay. We wanted to build a new one anyway. It is what it is. Don't you do it. Don't you dare do it. I am gonna check that rain gauge. Oh wait, let me guess. So, oh wait, it's broken actually. Yeah. But I bet you someone poured it out.
Probably.
Ah, that's annoying. You might as well throw that one away. We have a new one in the barn. That one was getting old or hard to see through anyway. And looks like we found ourselves a new entry to our barn. Well, that's supposed to be on the rails. Luckily that's pretty easy. We'll just have to get from the inside. We'll have to lift up the door again, set it back down on the rails. Much better. Now the door is where it's supposed to be, not off the rails. Yeah, they definitely got hurt pretty bad. It looks sad, but we'll make it work. I don't think we should get too much digger loss. I feel like there's enough leaves still on there and enough branches still on there that a lot of the peanuts should still stay on the plant. We will lose some, a little bit more than normal, but it shouldn't be that drastic. It should still be okay. So the first 3 towers are good, and then the end 4 towers are upside down. Yeah, that's all twisted and broken up there. I bet you the first 3 towers are gonna be fine. I think insurance does pay out a little bit of something. I don't know exactly what'll happen, but we might just find a nice used pivot somewhere, not a brand new one, just a nice used one, and then just replace the last 4 towers, whatever needs to be replaced. Because some of the stuff could still be reused. Definitely not any of the truss rods. The pipes look okay. They might be bent. They're probably gonna want to replace those regardless. A lot of the A-frames there, a lot of that's all bent. That's pretty bad. That tire's in the air. That's not supposed to be there. Man, some damage, all right. Snap the bolts right off of that union right there. And looks like the first two towers just flipped over once, and then these last two towers flipped over a second time. So it's all, that pipe is all sorts of twisted. So yeah, not all of that's gonna be reusable, but I bet you they could reuse some of it. But adjusters will come out, they'll tell us what we can do and what we can't do and what we should do. It'll be a process, but we'll see what we can do. This way we can replace hoses easier on the ground, right? Now you can actually get to it. This field further west, same field where I've been in this cluster here. This field probably looks the worst as far as hail damage. It was completely lapping rows, or overlapping yet. It wasn't just touching in the middle. It was solid peanuts, and there's nothing left of the leaves on there. Well, okay, there's a little bit of leaves left on there, but it's bad. Yeah, the second it dries up, which for raining 4 inches, it's surprisingly dry. Like normally when it rains 4 inches or this much, usually there's still a lot of moisture and there's puddles everywhere. I actually don't see that. Like there's not that many puddles. Granted, the roads, where obviously it's compacted a lot more there, it's not soaking in the ground as much. There it is, there's water, sometimes still standing water. But I guess it came down that hard, it's just flowed away. Like it's not all staying on the fields. So I bet you here in a day or two we'll be able to start digging peanuts. I would not be surprised. We're definitely going to try to get in the field as soon as possible before we start losing peanuts. But yeah, I think tomorrow maybe even we'll start trying, because sun's starting to come out. We'll start drying it. Oh yeah, we'll start digging here in no time. But for now, since we're not digging peanuts today, we're gonna get some of the rest of the harvest equipment ready. We're gonna grab that 280 that we had here in the barn. We're gonna grab that guy. We're gonna head to our other barn. We're gonna pull the air seeder out of the barn. We still wanted to work on that one, and we don't have a tractor nearby. We're just gonna pull it out of the barn, unfold it. That way when we do want to work on it, we can. We don't have to go take a tractor off of something that we're using. And then we're gonna take that 280, hook on to our peanut basket, bring that to the first field that we're gonna start digging, because we're gonna need it there anyway. And then the plan is also our peanut buggies, we have to bring those over there too, to that first field that we're digging. Pretty much get all the harvest equipment there to that first field, because that's where we're gonna use it first. So it's gonna be getting the rest of the harvest equipment ready. My brother's in here. Yep, he barely turned on that tractor, so he's gonna head to that other barn. I'm gonna go check up on a couple other different fields, and then I'll meet him over there and we'll start getting the rest of the equipment ready. Well, it only took till lunch and we got sunny skies again. Nice! That should dry up the fields plenty quick. And these should be ready to go. There's no maintenance on them really, besides just your daily greasing. We usually need a tractor to haul these, because you just use the pin in the center. But we do have the other hitches where you can use a 2 5/16 ball for the back of your truck. We're just gonna swap hitches real quick because we have to bring them pretty far away. So we'll just use the truck to haul them that way. Instead of driving the tractor back and forth so many times, trying to bring the buggies over there, we'll just swap hitches, bring them over there with the truck. Call it good. we're gonna get all of our peanut equipment ready right now, all the harvest stuff. This conveyor, we have the shaker by the other barn already. The basket we're gonna hook onto right now and bring that way. The buggies are right now going that way. Oh, there's a flat tire. And that one might be a little flat, but mainly just this one. But looks like he got this one unhooked here now. We'll go hook up the basket and start working our way that way. It'll be about an hour drive for him, but I've yet to decide if I want to actually follow him 26 miles an hour or if I actually just want to zoom past him. I might stick behind him because the basket doesn't have any rear lights. We usually just put those magnetic ones on the back, the flashers. So I think I'll probably just stick behind him just for safety reasons. And majority of the harvest equipment is pretty much all in one spot again. And as predicted, we're trying it, seeing if it works to dig. Most likely it won't, probably won't be too wet, but we're gonna start tomorrow anyway. Yep, as expected, it's actually looking pretty good behind the digger. So tomorrow morning, we're starting with our peanut digging season. Harvest season officially has started. It looks good, not too much loss. I didn't go over there and check. I just took his word for it. He just over the handheld, he just told me what he was seeing. It might be, even if it is a little bit on the wetter side, tomorrow should work because literally there's no more clouds in the sky. We are clear. The sun is really going to help dry things up. It's 82 degrees again today morning. It was like 60 something, so it warmed up pretty good. Tomorrow will be a good go time. Tomorrow's gonna be a good day. So this video's done. As always, I do appreciate y'all for watching. I'll see y'all guys tomorrow.